Welcome back to the Broke Diaspora, and it's another beautiful day here in Ghana. This is Project Denchira episode 23, and it is the final day of the foundation digging for our two stores and the studio on top of those two stores. If you are new to the channel, you have made a great decision to click on this video, so do not forget to subscribe because like I said, you are going to love it here and feel welcome. So we are growing at a fast pace. I am truly grateful to each one of you guys for joining this community. It is another great and beautiful day at Project Denchira, and my guys are starting to arrive this beautiful morning, and we are very happy, right? It is episode 24. So if you've made it all the way from the first episode on Project Denchira to now, thank you, because this has been a rough and good, great, amazing journey with a lot of learning that we were happy to share with you guys. So it is today, I believe, is our final day to continue with the foundation digging. You can see we've been able to get it all done from the left to the right side completely. And the focus now would just be to keep working on the depth, how deep the foundation is, right? So the going back to what we've already dug to do a little bit more digging, especially for the places that we're going to have some of the pillars at, right? So more digging of the trenches, clearing it. That's what we're going to do today. So that is why it is the final day to get all of that done, so that on our next episode we can focus and just work on concrete pouring, right? So we have all the materials that is needed for the concrete pouring. We're definitely going to be using a lot of the DPM, right? So the DPM to do all the foundation laying before we pour the concrete, right? We use the DPC for the block laying. DPM, we use that for a much larger surface that we still need to do concrete pouring. Because the whole goal with the DPM, DPC is to put a barrier between where water can come from, right? So where the rising ground. So put a barrier between the ground and your structure. So before you start pouring the concrete or pouring your concrete for your foundation, you need to put the DPM all in your foundation before you pour the concrete, so that there is a barrier between the soil and your structure, which the barrier now would be that thick plastic. So very important as well that you do not get the what is it called, just the very cheap plastic, right? That maybe you're just using for different reasons, right? It's been used for maybe agriculture or some different purposes, but it's not for DPM. It's not for construction purposes, because you want something that is solid, not something that when you're pouring your concrete, then it's immediately ripping apart and already making holes, right? So points to take on there when you're searching your DPM, DPC. And they're not that expensive. A lot of people see it as expensive, but I've always said it is worth the prices, right? So back to it. We are on a crew of 3 guys today, this beautiful day, and you can see it's all on the sides, like where we're going to have very big pillars or very big supportive columns that is needed, right? So just also cleaning and making the foundation deeper. So our foreman is on the site or came in the morning to see the work that's needed. Everybody have their instruction on what's expected from them. So more people are digging, people are shoveling, and it's good that we just get to keep the same sand, right? When we're digging, the sand is just being just kept on the side on the compound, right? It's the same sand that would help do some of the filling. Obviously, you guys have followed that this project does or did require a lot of laterite filling or sand filling, but sometimes when you're able to use your own sun, it's good. So when I see sometimes that they are throwing some of the sun, like you see above the wall or to the neighbor's place, right? I'm like, well, we're still going to have to shovel that sun back. But I think the reason why they're doing that right now, or we're doing that right now, is that we have to bring the wall down no matter what, right? So all of the things that we're putting behind the wall that seems that it's going to the neighbor side, it's things that we know that we will be using again, right? Because we're going to be breaking that wall down. So that's what we have going on, guys. If everybody that's new to this project or this channel, we have been working on Project Denchira for months now. It started when it was just the bare land, when we started with just the wall. Finally, we are working on our third structure, which Project Denchira is a project that would have a total of 10 units and 2 stores. So we are done with the first 2 structures. The left structure would have 4 units, the right structure would have 5 units. And then now the third structure and final structure we're working on will be the structure that has our 2 stores and the 10th unit on top of the 2 stores. So we've made great progress and there is still a lot of work to be done. But this is the channel where I come as a community to share just the little progress and advances that I'm making and some of the mistakes that I'm also doing, some that I'm noticing and I can mention that to you, or some that I'm just showing you guys videos of how I'm doing things that I may think I'm doing it the right way, but you guys may be able to pick up as a mistake. So that's what it's all about, and also trying to build a community for anybody that's building around, Denchira, Kaswa. Reach out. I'm just trying to build a great community where we can learn from each other, share materials that is possible to do. So if your neighbor or new neighbors, because we already have a few people reach out that are neighbors to Kaswa Denchira. If you're new to my channel or new to the videos and your neighbor around Kaswa Denchira, reach out and say hi. And this is just also to show people that, number one, you can start doing something slowly, right? You don't need to have it all ready. You can come up with a plan and start doing slowly. And number two, that you don't truly have to 100% be there to get some of these things done, right? It is preferred that if you are there, that's great. But unfortunately, a lot of us also cannot be there to start, or we cannot always be there. So use trustful people, use trustful companies, and also use technology to keep double checking, triple checking, right? And for in the beginning, I first thought, that, oh, I hate being the guy that is triple checking, even when my best friend tells me a price of something or tells me that, like, hey, this is what is happening, and I have to unfortunately double check or triple check, right? In the beginning, I felt bad to be that guy or be considered that guy. But later I had to accept that, I would rather be that guy to avoid any major damages in the future, right? A time where if I can avoid something and still save a friendship, I would rather it be that way. And I think we're also just the ones that usually think that people are always thinking about us, right? And it's a lot of times not that way. Like you can see, sometimes we just dance at work and we keep working, right? That's it. So we may think that people are always thinking about us, and it might not be that way. So that's why, if that's what makes me, makes it okay for me to be comfortable to keep pouring my investment in things, if I have to, I take what you're saying, I believe it, but I do other ways to verify it and check it. And if somebody is honest, they'll be okay with that. But when somebody is starting to be also getting mad for you to double check or crossing your T's on on something that you are pouring your heart and earned money, then it becomes questionable, right? Maybe we don't even want to work with these type of people or such people. the money that we're putting in these type of projects, it may not seem like much, right? We're going as slow as we can. The pace, even if it's 500 CDs monthly that you're putting towards it, you worked hard to get that or be able to save that, right? So if you're double checking before where that money is going to, you have every right to do that. When people start to get mad when you start to just ask questions as if you're just supposed to pour money without asking any questions. Just give me the money and just close your eyes and just know that your product will be done. That's not really what a lot of us want, right? Like you're going slowly, you're working hard daily to earn, like, to get that money, and when you're giving it out, like, I think it's okay for you to ask questions. You deserve that, right? And sometimes it doesn't mean that you're trying to be difficult. And I always say you should know exactly everything that is happening in your construction. Like, a good person would be so happy explaining to you, knowing that this person is truly just interested. It's not that you're asking questions to be difficult. I mean, if you are asking questions to be difficult, that's a different thing. But many of us, that's not the case, right? And I had so many issues with people where the expectation is just, we need this, send it, and that's it. Forget anything else. No, that's not how I operate. Like, let's talk about it, right? In the end, it's still going to be done, but I want to be involved. I need to be involved in everything. Even if I cannot be on the spot, I cannot be the, what is it called, the money guy. I'm not a lender that just gives hard money, or hard lender. That's not what I do. I'm building something here. So if your foreman or whoever is in charge of your construction starts to get upset because you're asking clarification questions on where money is going, and want your relationship to be where you get a call and just you get a bill and just send the funds without any question asked, maybe you should rethink that, because that's not even being part of your construction, and that's not like that's the whole part of the excitement, right? But because if you can afford it and you have the money, maybe you just go and just buy a ready house, or just go to a company that you don't want to be involved. You just select your construction design, everything that you want, your furnishing, and you signed a contract, and bam, it's what is it called, turnover thing, right? They'll just give you a key at the end, and it should look exactly what you guys agreed upon. But when it's not that case, that you are just like me or any normal young Ghanaian trying to make it in Ghana, right? You're buying your material slowly, you're getting your workers slowly as you can. You have this vision, you came up with a design and a plan. You're part of the process. It's not to just go again and just give money, and then unfortunately a lot of the times, right, in that method, you're coming back to disappointment. I was like, yeah, maybe I should have been involved in the steps at the places that I can still make corrections. Right, so that's the little bit that I have today, while we're finishing up our final day of foundation digging. And in our next episode, it would be where we are ready to do the concrete pouring, right? At that stage, I would discuss all the material that we are using, from DPM, DPCs, the number of cement bags we're using, and all the iron rods. So, final day of foundation digging. And if the weather stays great, which it's been great days these past couple of days, then we should be ready for the next stage, right? One other thing that I do use where people think like, oh yeah, it's never right, it's wrong prediction. It's always the weather forecast, right? People say yes, it's never accurate, and we are so used to things not working or things working wrong, that whenever there is a change and it starts to work, we may actually never be aware, right? Maps, Google Maps, all these features, when you want to use it, people that have tried using it many years ago that it wasn't working would tell you or discourage you from using. Oh yeah, weather forecast never works, or GPS is never accurate. But you ask them, when was the last time you tried using those? Yeah, because many years ago, a few years ago, they would say it would rain and it doesn't. Even today, it may not be 100%, or it's not 100%. It's never going to be 100%, but it does help. Like I use it in my ventures, in my agriculture. When I'm looking in agriculture, if I want to know when is the best time for us to plant, I can look for the days with the highest possibility of rain. There's different websites that we can use for that, right? Things are getting better, but if we have the mindset that it just doesn't work, we would never adapt to try to use new things. So what I'm saying is in construction, I always look at forecast if we're going to do work on concrete or any type of cement, right? To just see, and always what I'm getting is like, oh yeah, forget it, it's crap, it doesn't actually work, excuse my language. But things gets better even in Africa or even in Ghana. So I use technology whenever I can. ChatGPT, my best friend, business partner on a lot of things. So technology gets better, and so does it get better in Africa. So let's use it, right? It's so hard. Like I find it funny how I have to convince people to be adapting or use technology to make their life easier back in Ghana. And sometimes I even would provide it to people, but they go back to their normal way. So I see that as a, what is it called, as an opportunity, not as anything negative for myself, right? I know how to utilize those tools. I see the value in them, and I can help other businesses implement them or use it to see the differences as well for them. So we're getting close to the end of our final day. Foundation is cleared and ready. Our next episode that you're gonna get a notification about is gonna be us doing a concrete pouring, right? So get excited. We're gonna get some water delivered. We're gonna need a lot more guys to get this done, right? So I'm very excited. The progress that we've made. It took us a whole, what is it, 5 days on the foundation digging, but we are at the final stages. Today we are done with the shovels and the pickaxes, and we can move to more wheelbarrow carrying cement and concrete and moving on to another stage, right? It will be beautiful to see all the foundation casting and the building just rising from nowhere. So thank you to all my new subscribers and to all my old subscribers, every one of you guys. I am so amazed to see how the community is growing. It tells me that a lot of you are trying to make things happen back home. And I'm so amazed to see that people that are following me are people that are also following mentors of mine like Wodemaya and other African giants like Obeying Dako. It is amazing, right? That my crowd is not the people that are following other just entertaining stuff, but educational and people that are valuing Africa and returning back home. I am super happy of this small community, right? It may not be the thousands yet, but every one of you guys mean like so much to me. And let's keep this growing, keep learning from me, because we can do it brick by brick. Start today, start with a solid plan, because you've already started. By joining the Broke Diasporian, you're gonna make it. Welcome, and see you next in the next video.